All right. So, in the previous session, we discussed about the class join, right, in the report definition. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss something called associations. Associations are also used on the report definition only. So, this is reporting concept. But let's try to understand what exactly the associations are. Well, associations are predefined class join. Predefined class join, something that you are going to use quite a lot. Okay, for example, you are creating cases and you are dealing with the customers on those cases, and you're not storing the customer information in the case, which means that for every sort of reporting that involves customer, you're going to have a join with the customer table always. Similarly, you have attached, you have assignments, right? Assignment details are stored into separate table. But every time you try to access a work object, you're probably going to access through an assignment. So there's always going to be join between. I mean, not always, but in that use case or those kind of use cases, you will most probably always join the assignment class to the work object, right? So Pega came up with this concept of associations, which are the predefined joins. We use the predefined joins where you only apply, basically you select one main class and then you select the other class which you want to join, and you only define the joining criteria. Rest, what field you want to select, this all are going to be on the report definition itself. Okay. So associations are reusable class joins that we have in Pega, which we often need to use. So instead of defining the join condition on every report definition that we create all the time when we need the other class to be joined, we just create the join once and have it stored, and whenever we need it, we use them. How's that done? Let's see. Let's see some associations which are already created first. So, if you go to the record explorer and associations are data model association. So these are certain associations already created. Let's look at those first. So for example, from the work class, see a lot of information, document also we are joining. So let's say assigned division info, assigned operator info, who it is assigned to. So this class assigned operator info is joining from the work class. So any work class or any case class can use it. So it is joining the case classes with the data admin operator ID. Okay, on the condition that assigned operator ID should be equal to the data admin operator ID's PY user identifier, the primary key. And you can have more than one join, by the way, more than one class. And this is that basically we are joining the assignment class as well. That's okay. You We haven't discussed in great detail. Oh, we have discussed actually Berkeley and basket, right? Yeah. So these are the classes basically. So this is one use case that is already created. We will learn about them. Let's try to create our use case. Okay. So every report which needs, in our case, basically in the insurance processing case, every report that we will create for the customer and case linking, we will have to join. We will have to join basically work class, that is the insurance class, to the customer data class, because the customer information is not stored. So if you need to know all the customer whose loan has been approved with the name or customer ID, you need to join both work class, because you need to know their insurance was approved or not. Declined, you need to know whether the work object is declined or not. I mean, you definitely need the work object, and you need to know the customer as well. What is the email ID of the customer? What is the CID? What is the name? Things like that. So there are so many use cases where you will have to join the insurance class with the customer class, and there's not just one report. There could be 100 report, there could be not 100 tens of report, or maybe just 5 reports. Why do I need to define this 5 times on every report, the join condition? I should avoid that. Pega is all about reusability, so we create associations for that. So we will create the join condition between the insurance class and the customer class, and that's what we are going to repeatedly use whenever we need it. Okay, let's see. So let's create a new association. You can create from here or new data model association, the same thing. So work cust link, work customer link, and I'm going to define it into the insurance plan case. Create and open. So I'm joining the insurance plan, the selected type, with customer, this one, and the condition is CID of the insurance should match the CID of the customer. That's what it is. So this is a UI way. You can convert it into advanced configuration to check it in more details. Okay. So this is how it gets converted. You're joining the customer, and the condition is this. Exactly how we did it earlier in the class join. If you remember that report definition we created, let me show you that. This one. See, we joined it similar to this. Now this is predefined. Now no longer needs to be defined this again. Okay, so I'll show you how that report definition can be converted using this association without having to join that explicitly. So we linked it, we created a join. Okay, you can refresh it to show that UI, better UI view, but if you need better control, you need to add more than one classes. You will have to convert this into advanced configuration. Okay, so this association is derived. Now I need to get the same report, this same, very same report. How do I use association? Of course, I don't want to use this data join. So I'm removing that. I'm removing the customer properties that we have included here too. I should ideally be using the association now. There's a predefined join with the customer class. Well, all the associations that you will use will be listed here automatically by Pega. But how do I use it? Well, I know the name of the association. You don't have to do any smart work here. Just type the name of the association. Pega will automatically look for that and select the properties you need to include. So I need to include CID, for example, just association name and the property. That's it. Rest of the things Pega will manage. Pega will automatically put that onto the association. See, you cannot automatically put anything. You can delete but not put it manually. Sorry, Pega will automatically. Now you can select other columns as well, not just that. Work first name, for example. See, I actually escaped myself from the pain of declaring that basically this criteria, the joint condition. See, if you are doing it only for in one report, it doesn't really worth it creating an association, because there too you will have to write it anyway. But if you're going to use multiple report, you can going to create multiple reports which actually joins from the customer class. It's better to have the join condition basically created. Okay, so this is not exactly the inner join. Let's see. So include all row in the insurance. We will say include only matching row. That's it. Okay, now this should not return all the rows. Good. 29 records. So that's the association. Very small topic, but very useful content. Okay, very useful concept. The next thing is in the reporting, sub-reports. Sub-reports are inline queries. You will often write all the customer, let's say all the customers. Um 1 second. Get the cases created for all the customers having Aadhaar null. You have two tables. The work table has all the cases and you have customers. If you will have to write this, how will you write it? Well, the first thing you will do is select CID from customer where Aadhaar is null. That's the first query you will write. Then these CIDs, sorry, these CIDs you will use and select star from the work table where CID in, maybe not in, that depends. This is how you will do it. Sub report is that using one report's content to get the result on the main report. So this is inline query. The sub reports will be the inline query. Remember in this one, can you select this? Can you do select CID and first name and still use it? No. It should only have one column because it's CID in. If you have more than one column, it will be problem. So just one column. So this is what we try to implement in or not in, right? Into sub reports. Let's try to implement the same thing. So first we need to write a report definition on the customer to get all the customers which basically which do not have the Aadhaar card. So reports definition. So being the customer. And I'll only get the CID where column source is Aadhaar is not null. Sorry, is null is what we need. Let's run this. Do you get these many customer IDs where Aadhaar is null? Now I need the cases for this. So I will create another report definition, this time in the work class because that's where the cases are. Case list for non-Aadhaar cus- So I will say select PYID, maybe select the cust ID as well, CID, which is CID. Maybe select the status work as well. And how do I put the sub report? Go to the data access tab and add sub report. You need to give a basically prefix. So customer list, the class is B3 data customer, and the report name is customer with no Aadhaar. You will have to configure this join, okay, this sub report. So configure it. So is the sub report going to have more than one row? Yes. Where do we want to use it? We want to use it for filter, right hand side of the filter criteria. Any join condition? No, we don't need to join any condition. We are getting the CIDs, all the CIDs that we need there, okay? Any parameter? Nothing. Just try to submit this. Now it's giving you an error. Inconsistent selections have been entered in the configuration. Do not match row is chosen. That we are not matching any row, no filtering. That means if you're doing that, you need to get only one column in your sub report. We are having only one column. So why is that error still coming? Because doesn't matter you specify or not, whenever you write a report definition, by default the pzins key or the key, basically the key of this class, is automatically going to be included in the sub report, or in the report actually, not just sub report. So how do we get rid of that? Well, go to the data access table, tab, and here you will see get row key. Just uncheck that. Now it will not return that. It will no longer return that, basically duplicate two. So whatever you have selected, that's what you will get. Now if you try to, okay, I'll have to configure it again. So more than one row, right? No join condition, that's it. Good. So it is joined now, but we are not using it. We did not specify any condition that in or not in. That you will specify here. Where CID in means equal to only. Okay, that's automatically is going to be in cl.cid. The right hand side of the filter criteria, that's what we specified during the configuration of it, that we're going to use it right hand side of the filter condition, right? So we used it. So this means that get all the work cases related to the customers whose CID is going to be equal to the CID of the sub report. If you run this, these are the cases for those customers. No customer one is coming, right? These were the customers which did not have basically CID. Sorry, did not have Aadhaar. You can match them. Okay, so that's sub report. You can use equal to, or you say non Aadhaar. So maybe you will say not equal to. This will now exclude those CIDs and get everything else. The customer one mostly on this. That will not include anything that actually all the CIDs which are coming in there. So that's the purpose of sub report. All right. So this is good. This is about the association and sub report. There's one more thing that we need to understand. Yes, these reports are created, but the business needs that. Business will not access the dev studio to run these reports, right? Open it in the class. How do we make it available to the business? See, business will have one of such portals, one of these portals access. That's what the business will have. This is the default portal. You will usually create a portal for the business. And by default, we have reports tab. So that's where the business gets all the reports, okay, that is accessible to that user, that access group, or that business user. Okay, how do we make reports available here? Well, there are two things. First, this is called category. We need to create a report category. These are all out of the box categories created already. And then you need to create a shortcut to attach your report in one of those categories. So we are going to discuss basically two more concepts here: report category and shortcut. Well, the category is something that we make available on the portal. Shortcut is a way of attaching your one of the report definition to one of those categories. Let's see. Well, let's say that I want to make these reports that we created in the insurance plan available to the customer. So I'm first going to create a category. So category is also coming into the reports category only, reports. So I'm going to create a new report category and I'm gonna say B3 reports, batch 3 reports. If you create a category type standard, which means that it is going to be available to every portal, every access group. If you say it is shared, then you will have to specify which access group can access this, author and all that. If you say personal, then you will have to specify which user. You will create it for an user. That user will only see it. I'm going to do it for the standard. Remember, standard means everyone. Shared means access group. A group of people will see that. And personal means one individual operator will see that. I'm going to create a standard one. So this is the browser description. How display in report browser when. So this is any condition you want to check before displaying this on the portal. Do you want to check any condition that okay, this should match, that should match, right? If you want to put any event rule, put there. Otherwise, it's always going to be displayed. So this category is available. Let's see if this is coming up here. B3 reports. See, but there is no reports to it. Now I'm going to create a shortcut and attach this report definition case list for non-Aadhaar customer to that category. So create shortcut non-Aadhaar test cases. This is again same concept. Is it standard, shared, or personal? Standard? Which category? B3. See, this is just that. So we are selecting the category here and we will select the report definition, the PZ key of the report definition on the main definition. So the title, case list for non-Aadhaar customers. It's a report definition. These two basically list view and summary view are deprecated. Earlier we used to have them. At the moment this is just the reports. Which class? It is in the work class only. So B3 work insurance. And which report? The key of that report. So this is case list with case list for non-Aadhaar customers. This is what we need. Is there any parameter needed? No. Save. Now if you go there and select the B3 reports again, you see a report here, case list for non-Aadhaar. If you click on this, the report is executed here. So that's basically the shortcut and category concept. Category is a mean to organize multiple reports, related reports, and the shortcut is a mean to attach a report to a category. So just to summarize what we learned here, we learned about the association, the predefined case joins, basically class joins. We learned about the sub-report, the inline queries. We learned about the report category and the shortcut. And this session actually concludes here.